Well, in today's Staying Healthy, the dangers of lead. If you live in a home built before 1978, which a lot of folks do, you may need to have it tested and have your children's blood tested. The CDC estimates nearly 500,000 children living in the U.S. have lead levels that put them at risk for attention deficit disorder and decreased IQ and other developmental health problems. So joining us this morning is Brendan Doyle with the Department of Environmental Health. We appreciate you coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about this. I mean, how do you know, are there symptoms to look at for if your child's been exposed?
Well, that's the real tricky thing about lead poisoning, is that the symptoms aren't always obvious. I mean, your child, may have things like stomach ache, nausea, headaches, but the symptoms are not really obvious, and it could be related to something else completely. So the most, best thing to do is to have your child's blood tested, and that's how you can tell if the child has elevated blood lead levels.
So with the way you guys kind of do this process, I mean, would you recommend that every parent with a child in a house built before that time period get their blood tested, or is this something just to pay attention to?
No, I think, parents need to be aware that if you live in a pre-1978 home, the chances are that it has some type of lead-based paint in it. That does not mean that every child needs to be tested, but it does mean that parents need to be aware of the condition of the paint in the house, particularly if they have old wood windows, if the paint is deteriorating, if they're noticing dust that's being caused by friction areas. Those are the areas that parents really need to pay attention to, but it's not something that every child needs to be tested in every single home that's pre-1978.
Now, what are some things parents can do to make sure their children are not exposed to it?
Well, it's like I was saying, the best thing that they can do, particularly if they're living in that targeted home in pre-1978, is really watch the condition of the paint, watch areas of old wood windows that you may be opening and closing, doors that have friction points on them, to make sure that those areas of that area of paint isn't being disturbed. And if they are, if parents are concerned about that, the best thing they can do is have their child tested, go to their primary care doctor and have a lead screen done to see if they have elevated levels.
Now, if they do notice something in their house, like what you mentioned with the chipping, I mean, is that something you can just paint over on your own? Is that someone you need to call someone in to help you deal with?
You can, but you need to be cautious of it. And the best thing that we can do is to provide information to families that if they're doing big renovations, if they're going to be disturbing lead-based paint, the best thing that they can do is really contract with a lead-certified contractor. They'll be certified in how to work with lead-based paint and how to keep your family safe from any dust particulates that may be released into the air when they're disturbing that lead-based paint. So we would recommend that families really use a certified contractor to take care of any areas of their house that need renovations.
And there seems to be a lot of emphasis on this right now. Is there a reason? Is there an increase in anything, or is it just more awareness now?
I think it's really two things. One, in 2010, the Environmental Protection Agency promulgated its renovation, repair, and painting rule, which basically states just what I was saying. If you're going to be renovating your home in a pre-1978 dwelling that has lead-based paint, you have to be using a certified lead-certified contractor to be able to do that work. That way, the contractor can keep your family safe from any lead hazards. And then secondly, the CDC last year just lowered its reference level for what would be considered an elevated blood lead level from 10 micrograms of deciliter to 5 micrograms of deciliter. So we're seeing, an increase of those cases where previously maybe above 5, that wasn't really a need for any public health intervention. But knowing that there's no safe level of lead, anything above 5, we're now able to do some public health interventions with families.
Well, you mentioned getting the blood tested in children, and you guys have an event going on that can help parents. Can you tell us more about that?
We do. So our department, with various partners, we're offering a free blood screening this Wednesday, October 23rd, at the Clinic Tepeyac, which is 5075 Lincoln Street, from 8 until 4 o'clock. Parents can come, particularly ones that may have been concerned that their child may have been exposed, and we can give them a free lead screening, and there we can give them more information on any questions they may have about keeping their family safe.
And can people just come by, or do they need to register?
They can come by. It's a free event, and it's open from 8 to 4, and we'll do our best to get everybody in there that wants to be tested.
All right, Brendan, thank you so much for the wonderful vital information. Again, he's with the Department of Environmental Health. The information right there is on your screen if you're interested, in case you missed it the first time. That free blood lead screening. It's for children between the ages of 7 and under. It's Wednesday, and we have all the information again online. And if you're interested, just scroll to the homepage of thedenverchannel.com and look for that red TV button with links mentioned. Now for a preview